Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 327. Today, I want to talk about wisdom and how it's important in the world. We recently had a meeting in Agra Speakers, and the theme was wisdom, and there was some interesting concepts and discussions about wisdom and its importance. It reminded me of a interview with Jack Ma, who you may know was the creator of Alibaba. And he is now working in other areas, including education, because originally he was a teacher before he started Alibaba. And he said we should change our education system from the current knowledge base where we memorize and write tests about everything we've remembered to wisdom based. And what does wisdom means? So let's show you one of the items that we shared on our recent meeting. And this probably explains it a lot better. Wisdom involves the ability to make sound judgments and decisions, considering both short-term and long-term consequences. And wisdom encompasses a deep awareness of oneself and others, leading to empathy and compassion in one's interactions. It goes beyond mere intelligence and information. It encompasses values, ethics, and a holistic perspective on life. Wow. So that's what vision does. And some examples is experience. Wise people develop their wisdom through experience. As a result, almost by definition, wise people have extensive experience to lean upon when making decisions. And humility, wise people are often seen to be deeply humble because they have a deep understanding of the human condition and don't presume to have all the knowledge in the world. And when I thought of someone, during this meeting, I thought of our current president, or our prime minister, I should say, of Canada, Mark Carney. Now, recently, I believe he was facing an audience of many journalists in Brussels not too long ago. And if I understand correctly, they threw some very difficult questions at him. Oh, you're a banker. What makes you think that your experience is relevant, etc.? And things are happening between you and United States and Canada, and you're much smaller. What makes you think you can, do anything about that? And his answers to the questions were amazing. After his spoke and answered these very challenging questions about who he thinks he is and what he's going to do, he got a standing ovation. Another one, which he had previously got 200 people in the audience, the journalists and the other people from Europe um, were applauding. Meanwhile, they were trying to, catch him out, particularly some of those questions. And that shows you the type of person he is. Mark Carney is a realist. He sees things as they are, not as we wish them to be, as he said. The world isn't the way we wish it to be. We see it how it really is. So he has realism. And he deals with the problems in a practical, logical, and sensible way. It's not sort of saying, oh, we're great and so on, we can do this. It's very practical and very well thought out, logical and sensible. And, you know, he has been able to build up our country, our strength and our cooperation with each other within Canada and with other countries as well. Now, we don't always agree with everything. We don't agree with, but we find common ground. And we can find common ground with the people in our country and with other countries. And we can grow upon with that. And that is having a big impact on the reputation of Canada. People are wanting to do business with us. They want to work with us. And that's something that Mark Carney has had a big impact on Canada. If you do and you look at some of the um, surveys on Canada's standing in the world. It has risen from where it was to where it is now in the past year and a half, since he's become our prime minister. So that's where wisdom can have an impact. So when Jack Ma said years ago, we've got to change our education system from knowledge-based to wisdom-based, I think that's a great example. So maybe you could think of where some wisdom-based decisions, and I found it fascinating when you say, well, what does wisdom mean? And that was a very interesting example at the recent AGRA speakers. So I thought I would share with you some of the thoughts that we discussed during our recent AGRA speakers meeting. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family, and friends lots of love and laughter, and maybe lots of wisdom as well. Bye for now from Fred and Notes of a Nomad. Until next time.